Subscribe to Film Companion for your film fix. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update.
I'm here to kind of act, and that's my job. That's serious. That's my profession. So when I'm trolled for that, it's harder for me to sit there and say, ignore the trolls, because suddenly for the first time, it actually kind of hurts.
It hit you?
It hit me.
Sara, that one specific line, तुम मुझे तंग करने लगे.
ये सवाल सुन के अब लोग मुझे तंग करने लगे हैं. मैं क्या बोलूं?
Fine. Sara, such a pleasure to have you back on Film Companion. It's been forever.
Yeah, a year and 2 months to be precise.
My God, you remember this?
Yes, of course I do. I do.
You
in
know,
a while.
We met just before Kedarnath released.
Yes, we did.
Right? And it's been so amazing to see you soar. All the success, the hit films, the projects that keep getting announced, the brands that you've signed, the awards. Yeah, knock on wood. Absolutely,
Yeah, really.
Absolutely. So,
Yes.
we get to the hard part.
Yes,
There
I
is a
know.
so.
There always is a so.
No, so I felt like the trailer of Love Aaj Kal was the first time I heard criticism of you.
Yes.
You know, and I wondered, like, how did you process that?
It's very interesting that you ask me that, and it's nice that you use the word criticism instead of trolling. But
Some of it was,
both.
It did get mean, yeah.
Because I think that I have, with so much confidence, sat there and said that, you shouldn't pay heed to what trolls say, and, you should be you and you should be confident. But I think that as a girl, that has never really derived her confidence from the way that she looks. I don't mind being trolled for being fat. Or I don't, for a girl that, really enjoys doing like multiple color nail paint because, why not? I'm having fun. I don't mind if you troll me for wearing a cap, both of which have happened before. But I'm here to kind of act, and that's my job. That's serious. That's my profession. So when I'm trolled for that, suddenly, with all the confidence still intact, it's harder for me to sit there and say, ignore the trolls, because suddenly for the first time, it actually kind of hurts.
It hit you?
It hit me. It hit me because all trolling before that had been, like I said before, about things that I really don't pay heed to. I don't think it's anybody's business what color my cap or nails are, But I act for the audiences, like most of us do. I mean, it's the audiences from 1 to 5, and then the media at 6, 7, and 8 for me, in order of importance, and that's what it's always been. And seeing that kind of did upset me a little bit. But I'm also aware that everybody is entitled to their own opinions, and I respect opinions. And I also feel like there's always something to learn, especially at our job. You're a student forever, and you're a learner forever. And the day you stop learning and growing, you're kind of done. So you take positive criticism positively, and you try to inculcate that in your work, in your behavior, in your mind. And then there are, of course, some trolls that are only out there to pull you down. And you don't give them the satisfaction of doing that, because that's not cool. But I think that there is always some learning to take, which I've done. But I can't sit here with that much confidence and say, forget trolls, ignore them, because you can't always do that.
Yeah.
But don't get pulled down, because that's not, just learn and improve.
But Sara, that one specific line, तुम मुझे तंग करने लगे.
ये सवाल सुन के अब लोग मुझे तंग करने लगे हैं. मैं क्या बोलूं?
I'm just wondering, like, when you were doing it, did you imagine it would become what it did?
We weren't allowed to see the monitor. So I had no idea what it was looking like. I've spoken to Imtiaz sir about this, and I think that what's also happened is the fact that I don't look good in that. When it comes to people, trolling it for saying overacting or this, that, and the other, I'll be honest with you, every single day on set, not only was I acutely aware of what Zoe, my character, had to feel, but Imtiaz sir made me feel exactly what Zoe was to feel at that point of time. Now, that is Imtiaz sir's vision and my attempt. So that was not a ham shot on our part, because I was really crying, and I felt like I think Zoe would have been feeling at that moment in time. So I did what I came to me organically at that time. And I think that somewhere down the line, it's not a pretty shot.
But it's not your job to be pretty.
But somewhere I think that the archetype of a heroine is कि रोते वक्त, मरते वक्त, हंसते वक्त, खाते वक्त, मतलब कुछ भी करो आपको अच्छा लगना चाहिए. So I think maybe it's that. I don't know what it is, people have dissected it for various different reasons. Some sweet people have said that you were okay, it's just that low angle shot where your mouth is looking bad. Some people have said that, it's because it's cut in the middle of the scene, so they haven't understood the pitch of the scene or the character. So there are people that will, try to show me the silver lining, but the truth is that it's something that the audiences haven't liked, some of them. And those are the people that I do what I do for. So I think there's only learning to go from here. And here's hoping that there's, parts of me in the film that they do like. And here's hoping that, I can make them happy and entertain them more and more in the future. There's only learning to take from this, I think.
Yeah. Tell me about Zoe. Imtiaz described her as somebody who's very hard on the outside, but very fragile on the inside.
Yes.
Now, do you relate to her? Do you understand her? And is that important for you to act her?
I don't think that understanding a character is of course important. Relating to a character is also important. And I remember it was actually you only last time we were talking about empathy.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how empathy is very, very important for an actor. But empathy doesn't always have to come in the way that you have gone through that in your own life.
Yeah, but you can imagine it.
I was just going to say, that's where imagination, observation and direction, I think, come in. Because you are made to kind of understand the emotions that that character has to feel at that time. And with Imtiaz, so you're actually feeling those emotions at that time, which is beautiful and a great privilege for any actor. So I think that I haven't personally gone through the riot of emotions that Zoe has. But there are, of course, a lot of things that are similar with both of us. We're both extremely career driven. We're both independent girls. We both live with single mothers who have a very, very large influence on the way that we are, the way that we perceive life. And Imtiaz sir and me used to actually talk about Zoe, because we used to say Andar wali Zoe and Bahar wali Zoe, because I think that that's life really, it's all of us. There's an inner core to us and then there's an exterior to us that we showcase other people. And it's not only a facade. Sometimes it generally is how we are.
It's another version of you.
And they're both true.
Right.
They're both accurate. So Zoe as a girl, as soft as he said, she is from the inside. She's a romantic, on the inside. She wants love. She wants that, perfect kind of relationship maybe. But she's also very, very practical, pragmatic and driven. And what that does, like it does to most people today, is it kind of confuses the situation because she is striving to strike the balance between two seemingly opposing ideas. Because what do? Do you give up that big promotion to be with the love of your life? Is he even the love of your life? Do you know if there's a love of your life? Is that how it really is? So all of those extremely, I think, important and relevant concepts are things that Imtiaz sir and me have kind of tried to showcase.
Did you sort of, in a sense, contribute to who she is by these ideas because you are so similar in some ways?
I think that the only real similarities between us are that we live with single parents, single mothers, and we are very, very driven by our careers. But I think the fact, whether it's the language that she speaks, the way that she speaks, or the way that she kind of expresses herself in general, she's not very much like me.
Okay.
We are both reactive, but in different ways, I think. Imtiaz sir said this earlier today, and I don't think that he's very wrong. I think Sara's a little smarter than Zoe is. I really do think so. Zoe's not that smart. She is a little more impulsive, which needn't be a bad thing. And she kind of is a little edgier. It's more easy to get her nervous. I also get very nervous, but I think I have a handle on it more than she does. She can kind of like blow up suddenly and start like screaming. If you watch the trailer, you know what I mean. So, I also think that she kind of depicts, this. I think that women today are in general just very different, to what they were like 11 years ago when the first Love Aaj Kal came out.
Of course.
Or any time before that,
Yeah.
I think that they've become so much more vocal about their needs. And those needs have also evolved so much over time, whatever it is, whether it's financial independence, whether it's physical intimacy, whether it's emotional volatility. I think women are more openly embracing what it is that they want. And because maybe it's more acceptable to talk about it, I think that they're doing that more. I can't imagine going up to a guy and saying, you refuse to sleep with me, and now you're following me. It's like, I don't have the guts to do that. Nor do I have the guts to go to a guy and say, F you asshole. Like, I'm a little meeker than that.
You're not that.
I'm not that. I'm really not that. I also don't say, tum mujhe tang karne loge very often. I might start now.
Listen, it's a great line, okay?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I embrace it now.
You should. I want it on a t-shirt. I feel like it can be used in many situations.
I feel so. I feel so. And it should just be like, and if you don't stop, I'll keep saying that line to you. So maybe then you'll stop.
Sara, you have 5 projects on your IMDb filmography, right? And now 2 of them are, I don't know, whatever, reboots, reimaginations, Love Aaj Kal and Kuli Number 1.
Yes.
Do you think, Sara, you're setting yourself up for comparison?
I didn't think so, but maybe. I don't know. But I think that it's not something that I'm necessarily afraid of, because I think that every individual comes with their own individuality, And with Love Aaj Kal specifically, I think that, like I've said before, we are depicting what love is today, which is different from what love was 11 years ago.
Sure.
Just like women are different today than they were 11 years ago. So I think that it is a very fresh story. The characters are fresh, the characters are new, the characters are relatable. Will comparison happen? I mean, it would be not, I would have said idealistic, but at this point I think it would be stupid to think that it won't. So yes, that will happen. But I think that, you won't only compare it.
Right.
Once you're done doing that, and once
Right.
you're done saying that Deepika Padukone is amazing and Karishma Kapoor did Husna Suhana very well, then you might be like, okay, fine, but what's new?
Right.
And when you reach that stage, here's hoping that you do find what's new, because I think in both the films we have tried to inculcate freshness and newness. And I think, Kartik and me are an interesting pair to see. Varun and me have great energy. So it would be nice. And I think that we've, really tried our best to kind of do something different. And I hope that that's what's taken away from it.
Sara, what can you tell me about Atrangi Re? Because I love the worlds that Anand and Himanshu create.
Yes.
But I have to tell you, I got a little nervous seeing 2 men who are so much older with you. So what can you tell us about this film?
I really don't think very much at all at this point. But I can tell you that as an actor, I remember saying this to you before my first film even came out, that I have understood that films are a director's medium.
Yeah.
Right now, working on Love Aaj Kal, I realized that, one does everything because of the director. He's the captain of the ship. He sets the tone on the set. He's the voice. He's everything. You're just the body, really. And I've always been very sure and hopeful to have the opportunity to work with good filmmakers. What I can say is that Anandji, much like Imtiaz sir, I think depicts his women very beautifully. And the only thing that I can tell you about Atrangi Re is that it's a very beautiful depiction of a girl and it's her story, And of course, there's Akshay sir and there's Dhanush, and I'm so excited to be able to work with them. I think Akshay sir is just superb. He's like one of the biggest stars in our country. Dhanush is like extremely understated, but such a
Fantastic actor.
fantastic actor, one of the finest our country has.
Absolutely.
And I think that I'm just privileged to have had the opportunity, and I keep getting the opportunity to work with filmmakers that tell such interesting stories, that depict the grayness in women so beautifully. Imtiaz sir and Anand sir specifically, their women are not archetype correct, heroines. They have a voice, they have opinions. They're relevant, and that's, I think, the most I can tell you about Atrangi Re at this point. That it's a good film and I am privileged to be in it.
Okay, but is this...
And A.R. Rahman sir is doing the music of the film.
Amazing. Amazing.
So that's again amazing.
Tell me, this thing that you just talked about, characters who have a voice, who have something to say. Now, in a Kuli Number 1, what does the female actually have to say? And is that a criteria for you, Sara? Or are you seeing things for, okay, in this film, this character is like this, and that's fine. I'm choosing to do this. Here, it's a stronger character, and this works for me as well. How are you choosing your films?
I think that firstly, I have to say that my films are choosing me. You know, when David Dhawan comes to you with a commercial, entertaining, riot of energy-filled film with his extremely talented son, then you don't choose it. If Imtiaz Ali comes to you with a romantic film, you don't choose it. I mean, it comes to you, and then like what? Like, how do you say no to that?
No, so you're not gonna say, no, this character just sings and dances, and I'm not gonna do that.
I love that also.
Sure.
I love that also,
Sure.
I did it in Simba. I don't think that I had very much to do in terms of screen time. But I think that sometimes they are just people, whether they are actors, whether they are directors, whether they're just films and projects in general, that you want to be a part of. And it's not always who's telling the narrative or how much of the narrative are you driving. Sometimes it's just a great story that you want to be a part of, Husna Suhana and Raste Se Ja Raha Tha are two of my favorite songs, I wanted to be in the recreation of that. I wanted to be able to dance with Ganesh sir in sarees, which he hasn't let me wear. But anyway, I thought we would. Raste Se Ja Raha Tha. I thought they'd give me a saree, man. They didn't. But anyway, young. So, I really did want to do that. I think that Varun and David sir get their comic timing so well together. I personally love Judva. I think that Varun is very, very talented. So to be given the opportunity to work with them was an opportunity that I didn't want to say no to. And I think you do different films for different reasons. And as long as you know what that reason is and it comes from an honest and true space, I think that that's truly enough. I aspire for diversity. I aspire for versatility. And doing a romantic film with Kartik and Imtiaz is as exciting for me as doing a commercial entertainer with Varun and David sir.
Tell me, the other thing that I really admire is how unfiltered you are.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that you just say what you feel, and you're not being. It doesn't feel rehearsed.
It's not. It's really not.
You're talking.
I've had like 12 interviews today. I mean, like one would have thought that I'm ending the day with Anupama Chopra. What should I definitely say? And I walked in and I was just like, I'm so tired. And a friend of mine asked me that, you sure you want to give this interview? Like, you're okay, right? I was like, what do you mean? She'll ask me a question and I'll answer it. Like, even if I'm tired, like, I'm not going to not answer her. Like, it's not like I have to do my homework and come here. Like, what does that mean? She wants to talk to me. Right?
Exactly.
So why do I have to study to be me?
Absolutely. Exactly. And that's wonderful because it's not that common.
Yeah. I cannot deny that.
Yeah. So and I like that, at the earlier when you were first starting out, you were very open, and I remember you told me about stalking people on Instagram.
I still do.
Yeah. You're still doing that.
Of course. I was doing it right now. You told me to wait for 10 minutes. What was I doing in the room? Stalking people on Instagram.
And what I thought was amazing, Sara, was how you were very open about saying, I've got a crush on Kartik, right? After that, you didn't say anything.
Yeah.
There was all this conversation, are they dating, are they not dating? You didn't say anything. Is that because you've chosen that your personal life will be personal?
I'll be honest with you. I think that when I first said what I said, I realized that while people appreciate the fact that I don't have a filter, they don't know me well enough to understand why I'm saying what I'm saying. What you say on Coffee with Karan is not a proposition, nor is it a confession, nor is it the gospel truth. It's something that you say in fun and games.
Sure.
And it should be taken that way.
Yeah.
I'm beginning to realize that you have to I can't have a filter because that's just not me. But I think that you have to be aware of the way people might perceive what it is that you're saying, Firstly, that. Secondly, I think that when comments that you say just randomly because you have no filter kind of override what it is that you're trying to talk about, then I think that it's better not to talk about it. Like right now, I appreciate the fact that people, say things about like the fact that they like mine and Kartik's chemistry, and that's great because I'm really hoping that you do, because on the 14th of February, we're doing a film and it's Valentine's Day and I would love for you guys to come and watch it. But I don't want that to be, the talking factor. The
Sure.
fact of the matter is that Imtiaz sir has directed a beautiful romantic film with two characters, where Veer like embodies like this idealism, and he's like, like a very idealistic kind of, half Sufi, half like, into like this metaphysical world almost, like ye hona chahiye aur ye fande hote hain life mein kind of guy. And Zoe is like a career-driven, pragmatic, practical today kind of girl. And it's that chemistry that I'm excited for people to be talking about.
Sure.
As opposed to a comment that I made on Coffee with Karan, because that's not the point.
So you're being more
You know?
mindful now?
I don't think so. But I'm just hoping that I'll keep getting opportunities to clarify what I really mean. And people understand that there's a time and place for what you say.
Right.
And, that should be kept in mind. You can't be... sitting and giving important interviews to people and have them ask you, oh, you said you have a crush on Kartik Aaryan. Like, I said that on Coffee with Karan to Karan Johar. Like, you know the kind of things people say on that show? Like, my father said, if you have money, you can keep her. I don't think he meant that. Like, please, come on. I don't think he wants to sell me to anybody that has money. I really, really hope that's not the case. I know that's not the case. He's not selling me to the rich people of India. I promise you that's not about to happen, So I think that sometimes you just say things and... I'm honestly not even apologetic about it. I don't even mind being quoted, misquoted. I think it's all part and parcel of the game.
Sure. Yeah.
But I think that one thing that I've realized is that people don't always understand the intention behind what I'm saying. I'm a humorous kind of person. A lot of things I say are usually just in humor, and I wish that people would just understand that.
Is any part of this in any way feeling like a burden?
Which part?
Of being an actor?
Not at all.
Not at all?
Not at all. It's a blessing. It's a blessing every single day. And there are days that it's taxing. There are days that it's exhausting. There are days that, you have to wake up at 5 in the morning because I have this thing where I have to work out on the treadmill before I do anything, whether it's an interview or a song shoot. Song shoot, obviously, but interviews also, I think I wake up puffy. So it's this thing that after 1 hour of like sweating it out, I feel like I'm looking thinner. I promise you this is true. And it really
Every
is.
morning,
Every
you're just sweating
morning
the
I'm
fat
just
out.
sweating it out, and then I feel better. So yeah, there, silly things like that, or bigger things, like, trolling, or being conscious about, the media scrutiny or whatever it is. But I would not want to have it any other way. And even if like, there is excessive media scrutiny or, there are people kind of invasive a little bit or here, there and everywhere, I always ask myself, would I be okay with the reverse? Imagine that, okay, I'm puffy and I have a pimple on my face and I don't want to be photographed outside the gym. And I leave the gym and suddenly there's nobody standing there. Am I okay with that, really? Do I want to be at the airport and like have somebody push me? Probably not. But do I want to be at the airport and have nobody even look at me? I don't think so. So you have to, understand that most things that seem like they're a burden are actually a privilege. I hate having time off. Yeah, I don't mind having like, 3 hours off in a day. Like 18-hour days don't need to be the case
Those
every day.
Maldives pictures were pretty damn good, okay?
Yeah,
I think you liked your time
yeah,
off.
I did. I do like my time off, but exactly, time off like that you feel like you've like earned.
Yeah.
Right before you go into promoting Love Aaj Kal and then shooting Coolie and then starting Atrangi Ray, right after you've finished your final scare of Coolie and a song with Imtiaz sir, like then you feel like you've earned it, So I quite like the, burdens. I don't even look at it as that. Being privileged to do what I love.
Your
to do.
Instagram is really fun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Namaste,
I love it.
darshako. No, I need to do a new
Personal,
one.
It's fun. Is it all you?
Always. Who can do Namaste Darshako? Ghori Ityadi. Who will write that for me? Who will do it? Nobody. And have you seen my shairis? They come up on the spot. Like, candy cane by the window pane. Like, that's not even cool. Like, but I think that it's just me. And, yeah, it's organic.
fun.
Yeah. I enjoy it. I have fun kind of doing it now. I was very, in fact, when we did our first interview, I was like, had been on Instagram for like, I think 2 months or something like that. It was very new to me. I didn't even know what Insta size was back then. I remember because I used to be like, looking so nice today, but my shoes aren't showing. But now I've learned, So like, I've come a long way, but I'm having a good time.
Tell me, you did this magazine cover with your brother.
Yes.
And at some point, I'm assuming he will be part of the business, right?
He wants to.
So, what have you learned in the last few years that you want to protect him from?
I think that it's not about protecting because everybody has their own journeys. And no matter what it is, personally, professionally, all the advice that my parents have given me, I'm very thankful for it. but I'm going to make my own mistakes. And so will he. The one thing that I'll encourage him to do is firstly get an education, because it's the most important fundamental thing. It's the only thing, it defines who you are. You know, it's not even about what you learn. I've told him, you can study photography, you can study filmmaking, you can study neuroscience, you can study history, you can study cooking. I don't care. I want you to learn how to learn, because at this job, that's what you have to do constantly. You have to be learning. And that's also a skill. Your brain is a muscle. You need to keep working it. And it's an important muscle. You know, you can build your triceps in the gym, but how are you going to work that brain if it doesn't even know where to start from? So firstly, I think education is key. Second, I think that balance in life is very important, and it comes from having a grounding wherein you know who you are. Have friends that show you the mirror. Have a reality that you go home to every single day. And these are the two things that I would tell him to definitely ensure that he is. He's his own person, and he has a surrounding that keeps him real when it gets too loud out there. Good, bad, different, ugly, pretty, whatever. It gets loud. We live in a loud world, you know. Oh my God, you're beautiful, you're amazing, you're looking so nice. Oh my God, you suck, you're fat, you're huge. So many opinions, riot of opinions, constant opinions. You need to know when to just silence them out a little and hear your own voice. That's something I'm going to encourage him to develop.
Does your mom help you do that?
She tries to. I haven't done most of it. I know you have to do it. I'm working on it every day. But I know that you have to do it, and I think that's the first step, you know. I'm far from doing it.
Really? Do you keep listening to the loudness?
I mean, I listen to it. I think I'm better than I could have been. I'm not actually, I don't want to be overtly humble here. I'll be honest with you. I know when to silence it out. And I think I do a pretty decent job of finding a balance between, you know, my professional life and my real life and my real life, which is all kind of, you know, goes into one another. But I think that my mom helps keep me very, very grounded and very, very real. No matter what I'm doing, whether it's an interview with you or a song with Varun or a scene with Kartik, like when they say pack up and I go home and there's no mascara and there's a nightie on, I'm the same girl every day and have been when I was 96 kgs and when I was 7 years old. And I think that I'm proud of that.
And is the parrot still there?
No, we got rid of her.
Oh.
We didn't kill her or anything. We just gave her away because she was a cockatoo and she was very annoying, and the caw, like I think I lost some jobs because of that, and that's not cool,
my
right?
favorite
Jobs
story.
matter. Yeah, I mean, he flew on the director's shoulder. How can you do that? It's like, what is this? It's like a zoo. And then there's a turtle that like goes on the floor, and there's a dog that will just HUMP you all day, and you're like, this is just, sorry mom, I shouldn't be talking about your son. She calls him her son, her baby son. But I guess people do that with dogs. I don't get it.
They do.
Well, cute.
They do.
Kind of. Not really. Don't
Sara,
understand.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And lots of luck for Love Aaj Kal.
very, very, very much.
Thank you.
If you like this video, please like, share, comment, subscribe to Film Companion.